Collective Shout is the one behind Steam censorship, and it's come out. They've protected people who abuse kids. They're going after Detroit Become Human. The hell is Collective Shout? Sounds like a cult. Not-for-profit company, limited by guarantee, governed by board of directors. We are independent registered. What? Oh. Demand payment processors stop facilitating rape, incest, and child abuse game site sales. What? So what is this? Yeah, looks like they are also going after Detroit Become Human. They targeted 500 games for removal from Steam, with 81 titles that they want delisted. Why Detroit Become Human? This is so interesting. I've never heard of this before. Okay, so it seems like, at least according to this here, I'll just pull it up on screen. I don't know why I'm reading it off here. Where was it? Oh, here it is. In other words, it seems virtually impossible for Steam to host any adult games depicting child abuse. Rather, Collective Shout may be targeting popular video games that depict children in scenarios where they face distress or harm, even if these depictions are intended to encourage concern and care in the player. From there, the organization may be describing these titles as featuring child abuse. In 2018, Collective Shout encouraged its supporters to sign a petition to ban Detroit Become Human for sale in Australia, claiming the game features child abuse and violence against women. The petition focused on an abusive father's violent behavior towards his housekeeper and daughter in the game. This dynamic, core to the character Kara's story arc, is intended to encourage empathy for the abused woman and child. While it's unclear whether Collective Shout is actively targeting Detroit Become Human in 2025, the removal of such a game would be akin to artistic censorship of material discussing misogynistic abuse against female family members. Targeting the game, in other words, could be considered anti-feminist in intent. That's fucking baffling. I'm curious then. This is a really broad scope here. Like what they discuss as child abuse, which is any game depicting a child in scenarios where they face distress or harm. That would include things like Little Nightmares, Out of Sight, fucking Limbo, any game really. Like, actually. Last of Us, that'd be like an unbelievable amount of games. How perplexing. Detroit Become Human is a really weird one for them to go after for that as well. That doesn't really make any sense. In 2014, the organization called on Target to remove Grand Theft Auto 5 from store shelves, sharing a petition that claims the game encourages players to commit sexual violence and kill women. Collective Shout described GTA as if it were a misogynistic funhouse, stating the game lets players enact their fantasies of committing extreme violence against women, including punching women to the point of unconsciousness, killing them with a bat, gun, or machete, running them down with a car, and setting them on fire as they continue screaming. What world are we living in? What? So that all this is only reserved and acceptable if it's men. Like if you're killing men with a bat, gun, and machete, running them down with a car and setting them on fire as they scream. Like, if they're making the argument that it's so violent, that it's disturbing, like, you do this to men and women, it'd, like, make more sense from their very low IQ take on it. But the fact that it's only focused on women when that is not... It's not like GTA says you need to go burn this woman alive and then commit sexual violence against all of these women to progress the game. Like, it's just absolutely fucking nothing. How insane. Oh yeah, God of War also would be in the crosshairs because it's not just Kratos. He's got a son who faces distress and harm. It's pretty much everything. Like, pretty much every game. How interesting. And they're winning. Collective Shout did just successfully bully payment processors to threaten to pull out of Steam. Unless they banned the games that Collective Shout wanted them to ban. Which they did, they complied. So I'm curious to see where this goes next. Wonder what other games they're going to go for. Expedition 33 as well. Oh, true. Yeah, my L. Not surprised it's Australia-based. Australia has crazy game censorship. Yeah, but they're pushing for global cleansing of women and, I guess, children in video games. It should be only men forever in games, I suppose, is kind of their mission from the sound of things. You can't have a game where a woman is in distress or harm, nor a child. It can only be men. An interesting mission, I guess, when you really boil it down. Isn't that actually sexism? Well, as the article points out, basically what they're targeting is the antithesis of what they're claiming they are. Like, the things they want banned are legitimately things that would be perceived as anti-feminist in intent. And from what I read on their website, they identify as like a feminist-first organization or something to that effect. And in doing so, they're basically trying to remove women from games. Like, women aren't allowed to be in GTA because if they are, they can be killed with a bat, gun, or machete, same as a man. Which is a problem, I suppose. What would Metroid be then? Banned? Well, no, I guess another... Maybe their suggestion is all women in these games should be, like, immortal? Like, you can't interact with the characters outside of dialogue, maybe? I'm not sure. I don't think any game would do that. That wouldn't make any sense. You wouldn't be able to play as a woman in a game. That's how I am interpreting it as well. That's how it sounds from, like, their previous targets in the past. Like, how could you possibly play a Tomb Raider game? Because literally this can happen to Lara. Like, this literal thing they point out here for why GTA needs to be banned is exactly what Lara goes through as the protagonist. So how would Tomb Raider exist under this? A lot of these games are worked on by women too. Yeah, I know. It's very weird. Very, very weird. I don't really get it. Very interesting. Very, very interesting.